Why do you hate black people?
Well, I have to. I'm Republican.
We are very divided right now.
You know, people get upset and don't want to be your friend because you've got a different idea.
I think we're more divided than we've ever been since the Civil War.
America, a country that should, more than any other, embody being united, has lately been nothing but divided. Everything you see and hear would have you believe that we live in a world of extremes, either burying our heads in the sand so that we don't have to listen to each other, or screaming from opposite sides of a trench with no attempt to cross into a realm of common ground. Challenging that today is our newest neighbor, Paul. He's an excellent representation of how I believe Americans truly feel when it comes to politics. We don't have these extreme one-track minds painted red or blue, but instead a blend of various opinions. These opinions may conflict with others, but they still come from a place with the willingness to be open-minded. In this episode, we discuss how people identify themselves against and within their own political parties, dive into how a Republican really sees the Black Lives Matter movement, the effect that it's had on his life, and how we can best prevent differing politics from ruining friendships and progressive conversation.
Hey there, neighbors! Welcome to A Neighbor's Tale, where we meet incredible people, hear their stories, and hope it helps you in the process. I'd like to introduce our newest neighbor, Paul.
How you doing, Royce?
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Can you give us a little description of yourself?
I'm Paul Leverett. I'm a small business owner in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm a older brother. I'm a father. I'm a husband. Trying to live the good life, you know.
And a friend?
Friend, yeah. That is fourth on the list, though.
Is it fair to say you're a little bit more right-leaning on the political spectrum? And we'll get into the specifics of.
Yeah, I would say a little bit, yeah.
Fair enough. Why do you hate black people?
Well, I have to. I'm Republican. It's required. No choice. I have to do it.
Hands are tied, Royce.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
That's what I told him. I was like, why am I here? When someone says, are you a Republican or are you Democrat? How do you view what you would say and how it would differ from someone just blindly going, I'm all the way Republican, I'm all the way Democrat?
Well, I think there's a lot of categories within each party. And so I think it's ridiculous to say that, I know a lot of Republicans I really disagree with. And so when people say, well, you're a Republican, you hate all black people. Well, of course I don't.
Hi.
I think the main problem today is we keep looking, it's a bell curve, the political spectrum there. And the two people in the 1%ers on both sides won't shut the up.
Yep.
They're the loud ones.
Yep.
And they're the ones screaming, and they think that everyone else is crazy. But I think I'm a firm believer that absolutes are wrong, an absolute in any way. So to say that, all Republicans are racist or all Democrats are groomers, whatever the new thing is today. Of course, it's hogwash. It's bull. Being a libertarian, not necessarily a Republican, I believe in smaller government and freedom, individual freedom overall, and I think that that's why I have to say I'm Republican, is because I think for the most part, overall, Democrats are pro-big government, and that's the part that I disagree with Democrats on.
We've been friends for 8 years.
Wow. No, that's a long time.
Right. On the political spectrum and just on other things as well, we haven't always seen eye to eye.
Yeah.
How do you think we've been able to remain friends as long as we have?
Respect. It's mutual respect. And it's just because you have an opinion that I don't agree with doesn't mean that your opinion's wrong. I don't know why when we lost that. Not we, but as a country. One thing that really blew my mind is, of course I support Black Lives Matter. The message of Black Lives Matter, of course I support it.
Sure.
I'm not going to put a sticker on my car. I think that I offended a lot of my friends for not contacting them and checking in on them. And that's something, I'm not the best for that. Or I'm not the most emotionally comforting guy. But
I would say that, but continue.
Yeah.
But continue. I think you are.
It's a strange thing to say, I support you guys, good job. And they're like, why aren't you marching? I'm like, oh, well, I said good job. What do you, there was a, Save the Tree Frog protest going on.
Sure.
And I said, I support you, here's $1. It would kind of just they'd say thanks, and I'd move on with my life.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get in trouble for not supporting tree frogs. But for it to be this, and then me be a bad guy for not supporting a message that it doesn't really involve me.
Sure.
I think that's a lack of respect to say that, your opinion doesn't really matter. You need to support us or you're a racist. And I think that's our problem, is just a lack of respect. 'Cause I think 99.99% of Americans, if you said, do Black lives matter? They would go, of course they do.
Sure.
But that's not really what it was at the time. Or I think that was the message. I don't think that's what the organization was. And I think that was my reservation on it, is it didn't really feel like a nonprofit. And because I didn't feel like it was a nonprofit, I didn't support it the way I should have. And I feel like I got accused of being racist because of it. I mean, no one wants cops killing anybody. And so it's both sides of that argument. And so I feel like it's a lack of respect to hear the other side out. I think that's the problem with most people in these kind of arguments, is just because I don't believe in what you believe in doesn't mean we can't have respect back and forth. And I can't know your perspective.
Sure.
I mean, as much as I'm going to try to have empathy and see it from your shoes,
Sure.
I can't.
Right.
I mean, I can't perfectly.
No.
And so you and I are going to disagree about stuff, but as long as we have respect back and forth, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It was really strange having friends that I thought I was really close with that completely shut me out during Black Lives Matter. And it still kind of feel like you're being prosecuted. I'm not trying to conflate it with other problems of other races. It feels weird that your opinion doesn't matter if you're white. And it matters even less if you're a white male. I'm sure you've heard the jokes before, but like there's levels that like you have to shut the hell up at.
Okay, can you
So
elaborate?
well, like, so I'm able to talk about white women and like have, how do I put that, opinions about it.
Sure.
And then like as it changes, if a gay man now, no, absolutely not. You can't do that.
Gotcha.
Gay white guy. And, well, there's like a hierarchy, and it's I've never had to deal with it before. I've always kind of just saw everyone as the same. You know me, I don't see race.
You don't see color?
No,
Yeah.
race. But I see colors fine. I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
And you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese. Everyone's just there, and everyone hates everybody.
Right.
So like there was no prejudice. Everyone just always hated everybody.
Someone on the outside looking in that might have this viewpoint of, once I'm hearing the opposite of what I think, or even anything a skosh outside that spectrum, I'm going to put on my earmuffs.
Yep.
And you see it aggressively in the political side. It's like, I'm really not going to get about what you have to say. I do not care. How can we move the needle in terms of people just listening for over 5 seconds once they feel that their opinions aren't the same?
I'm gonna hit you with a Bible verse.
Hit it.
Don't cast pearls at swine.
Don't cast pearls at swine.
So you wouldn't offer pearls to swine, they don't appreciate it. So don't talk to people that don't care to hear from you. I think you should go to people that, I feel like the conversation with you is going to do more in the long, someone that'll actually listen to me is going to have more an effect for my political views as you spread them to your people. When someone says something completely ignorant to you, you're going to go, well, wait a minute, they don't believe that. Or you're going to know my point. And so the person that won't listen to me will listen to you. And so I think talk to people that'll listen and it will show you some respect. Don't waste your time with people that aren't going to show you any respect. There's no point, and you can't make someone respect you.
Yeah.
If they don't have respect for you, don't waste your time.
Closing words for the neighborhood. People that are just listening, that are viewing.
Love thy neighbor. That's it. Oh, and stop complaining about everything. No one cares. No one.
It's perfect. Shut up.
No one cares.
No one cares. Okay.
Yeah. That goes right or left. That's
right, yeah. That's been Neighbor's Tale with Paul. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you want to be part of the neighborhood. Hit the bell notification. And as Diego Ramirez once said, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. All right. Thank you, boss.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
What can I was gonna say? What can straight people do? Ally.